Look, check this out. Something I noticed within myself these past few weeks that I'm not as young as I once was. And what I mean by that, I'm starting to feel it the way I work. And what I mean by when I say I'm starting to feel it, I'm starting to feel hold on, let me see if I can get my light on. I ain't gonna worry about it. We ain't gonna worry about it. Well, like I say, I'm starting to feel like, you know how you'll finish a hard day's work and sometimes you'll feel it and sometimes you don't? Well, I'm starting to feel a little bit of that, right? And this is what you have to do. You have to you have to set yourself up for your older age. I remember years ago I was welding on this job, right? And this was a repair yard. We was repairing oil rigs and drill ships. Well, anyway, when I hired on to this job, they was working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And we had did that for like 2 to 3 months. And that fourth month, everything had winding down and got slow. And they started laying people off. And I remember hearing the guy say, he said, yeah, man, all that hard work I done in the first 3 months kind of secured my job for now that they're slow and they're laying people off. And you have to look at life like that. Now, in your 20s, now look at this. Life in your 20s, it don't matter how you do your 20s, you're going to pay in your 30s. Here's what I mean. If I've known people that got married in their early 20s, and look, being in a marriage and raising kids sucks the life out of you. I don't care what nobody say, it drains you, right? Now think about this. You always think, when you're raising your kids, you always think, now when these kids get grown and kind of gone, I kind of get my life back in a sense. Me and my wife would kind of redeem the time. And some people don't make it because you change. Like, you're not the same when you was 20 and you're 40. You're not the same. So what I mean by that is, because see, life sucks. You don't know this at 20 and 21 and 22. You only learn these things at a later age in life. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and we was talking about a certain thing, and he was like, man, bro, if I would have knew this when I was 19, like, we was talking about our business. He was like, man, we would have, I became a welder at 18, 19. He was like, man, if we would have just skipped that and just ran our business, we would have been almost 20 years in and we would have been at the level that we wanted to be at. Like, from here on out in my business, I'm only offering grass cutting, shrub trimming, sod install, and easy landscaping. All that hard exotic plants and landscape design. I'm not doing that no more. Only thing I'm doing, cutting grass, shrub trimming, mulch install, pine straw install, river rock install, limestone install. And see, this is what I'm fixing to do. I offer a couple of services I'm not saying on YouTube because I'm tired of you guys trying to steal my work. Like leaf removal, I'm gonna do leaf removal. That's easy money because nobody want to do it. Like, this job I'm putting this bid in on, if I get this job, I'm gonna start doing rock driveways for people. But I gotta get the machine to do it, but I gotta learn. But see, this is what I'm saying. I'm only doing stuff where I don't need 4 and 5 people to make a profit. This rock job I'm going to go do, I can honestly do this job by myself in 2 10-hour days with a wheelbarrow. If I go over there the first day, prep everything and start and come back the next day and just go hard at it, be done, that's going to be several thousands in my pocket. Like, once you start understanding, hey, look, this works for me and this don't work for me. This works for me and this don't work for me. And you will look up, you'll be making $4,000, $5,000 in a week. You'll hit $20,000 months. You'll look up. You done ran through 200 grand in your business by yourself. So it's like you eliminate the headaches. You don't want all them headaches. But at the same time, you cannot keep running like this. Because when you get older, it catches up with you. That's why I say you don't know what you don't know in your 20s. A lot of people come to their senses in their 30s. Because look at it like this. You go from living check to check. Like, look, all right, when you get out of high school at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, you having a good time. All right, 23, 24, 25, 26, we getting serious now. 27, 28, all right, you buy your first house. 29, 30, you go ahead and get the car you always wanted. 31, 32, meet a girl. 33, 34, you have kids. 35, 36, 37, 38. All right, now you're pushing 40. Let me start a business. Let me get into real estate. Either one of them gonna take 5 years. So you got 39, 40, 41, 42. Now you 43. Your kids got a little bit older. You done moved up in your career. Your woman done moved up in her career. You either buying your first real estate property or your business finally taking off to where you want. You're 44 or 45 and you finally starting to make the money you want to make. When you finally start making the money you want to make, you're going to screw that money up because you want to live. You haven't been able to live. So 46, 47, 48, you living. And then 49, 50, 51, 52, everything flowing your way. 55, you either got a couple of several rentals or your business is popping how you wanted to pop it. 56, 57, you back, you're traveling, you're living good, you're getting ready for retirement, and then life's over. So you don't know what you don't know. You didn't know it. You didn't know, let me drop out of school in the 9th grade and start my construction business because you don't need a high school diploma. And then if I drop out of school at 15, start my construction business, give it 10 years, 25, now I'm making $500,000 a year at 25. Now I got it figured out at 25. Me marry this girl at 27, go ahead and get all my kids out the way. 47, all my kids grown. I got a $5 million business, and now I can, you see, you don't know that. You have to learn, and the older generation do not teach the younger generation. I say the same thing about life, and I say the same thing about marriage. Nobody taught me nothing about marriage. Yeah, I was taught save yourself for marriage, marry you a good girl, provide for your family, this, that. But nobody said, hey man, when your wife have a baby, when your wife is pregnant, her hormones gonna be up and down. After your wife have the baby, she go through what you call postpartum. Some women don't want to have sex after they have a baby. And then you got to wait the 60 day or however it is, and then nobody told you that the baby will drain the woman out to where she's drained, stressed out, and you drained, stressed out because you trying to provide. Nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you that. It's a lot of stuff. If I ever have a son, I'm going to give them the real on how women act and how women carry themselves. Not saying that's in a bad light, but just nobody's honest with people about marriage. It's a lot of married men. It's a lot of married men that's been married for a while. They don't even have sex anymore. It's like, so what was the point in me saving myself, marrying a woman, and then you fast forward a few years down the road and the woman don't want to do nothing? Not saying that's my situation, but it's a lot of things that you hear from people in marriage. And I've heard different conversations from saved men and lost men. You know what I'm saying? Like how some women will get content. You'll have a woman that go through the struggle with you. You living paycheck to paycheck, fixing to lose everything, and now you making money hand over fist, and they're still ungrateful. I've seen guys buy their woman a new car every 2 years and 2 vacations a year, and when it was all said and done, she said, oh, you done all this for the family. You never done nothing for me. Like, people don't explain that. Everybody's on the outside looking in thinking that they want that, and then when they jump in that, they're like, oh, that ain't really what I thought. See, a man gives everything for his family. He give his time, he give his resources, he give his money, and a lot of men don't hear how great they are until they either on their deathbed or they never hear and their children will say it, their children or wife will say it at a funeral standing over the man in the casket. It's just a lot of things. And I'm not saying this is my situation. I'm just saying marriage isn't what it's cracked up to be. It's really not. It's like you've been tricked. It's like you've been tricked because it's like now, because once you finally figure out what it is you want to do in life, I remember a guy telling me this, and I'm gonna let y'all go. He said, right now you can run up that hill because it's just you. He said, but fast forward a few years, you got to run up that hill with baggage, and it's gonna take you a little longer. Like, by me being a single income family, I have to be wise with the decisions I make with money. I just can't take everything I make and throw it back in my business and be running around with $0 in the bank hoping it all work out. Now you got to keep some reserves. You got to spend money, get your family decent vehicles, and kids needing clothes, and that's part of it. That's part of it. But you think the end goal would be marry a beautiful woman, have kids, live happily ever after, and that's not the case. And the same thing with a business. You think, oh man, you start a business, you making money hand over fist till you realize you're handcuffed to your business. See, a lot of things you just don't figure out till later on in life, and that's just life. That is life. And listen, I'm not complaining. I truly believe if I didn't marry my woman, I would have kids spread out throughout the county, probably throughout the states. Why? Because I love Cobbler. And I'm just being honest. So you contain all that, get you one woman, and then boom, you have all your kids in one house. You can all raise them. And, you know, it's just not about sex and marriage. It's just life. Life. You learn a lot of things later on in life, and there's no do-overs. And you have to give your children all of the knowledge that you know, and they're not even going to listen, and they're probably going to do what they want to do. But I'm 36, and if I can go back to when I was 16, I would have done a lot of stuff different. But you don't know what you don't know. You do not know what you don't know. And that's life. Look, I was fixing to run to the Walmart, give my wife some, she needed some old Beats headphones. She found her old ones. I was actually about to run to the store and get her another set because she's fixing to start going to the gym every morning now. So, hey, it is what it is. But catch y'all on the next one.